Happy orange cone season! I don't think it ever wasn't orange cone season around my house. Anyway, here we are back in spring again, and it's orange cone time. And there's a number of orange cones scattered around on the river. I'm going to try to go between them on my way to the treasure, because, that's just fun. Afterwards, I'm going to show you all about the cones, how I deployed them down the river like this, and how I made this car, along with a brief tutorial on how to make a cone. Oh, check this out! I am about ready to get my 2 millionth block. This is the first time that I've actually ever crossed 2 million because I can never hold on to it long enough. I always blow it when I get to about 1.3 million or something. I'm buying plastic in large volumes and starting all over again. Here it goes. Woohoo! 2 million! Yes! After running into some trouble using glue blocks and timers to release all of these things, this is what I came up with. It works out pretty good, and it's really neat to watch. They just teeter-totter all the way down until one of them spits out at the bottom. They go real slow so that the timing works out beautifully, and they end up spaced out just right to clear the river. If it's done right, which it almost was the last time when I just showed you guys, the first cone, this guy right here that's just starting down the river, he gets almost to the lighthouse stage when the last cone has cleared this section right here. So when this section starts to reload after the last cone clears it, then it's basically ready to drive. And if you drive to the treasure pretty fast, the timing works out just kind of right. There's 9 cones that are doing this, and let me show you about the vehicle. It's just so cool to watch that deploy. Oh, and before I forget to mention, there is a chair inside each one of these. So I've placed a king chair in there so that if you are on the river anywhere and you happen to see one of these cones going down the river in the public server, if you need an assistance, you can just jump into one of the cones. So the bottom 3 sections are all collision off and the top 2 are collision on. So generally you can just hop right in and you'll end up right in that king chair, which is kind of neat. Alright, here's the vehicle. I forgot to mention that each one of those vehicles has a little area around it that helps to clear the river. So you can see it clears an area that's wider than each one of the cones. You could see it in the previous little section there when I actually selected all. So this is the vehicle here, and it's got this gold block inside here that the seat and everything is attached to, the wheels and such. The other part underneath here, this is just this is metal, but it's collision off, so it doesn't really get hit by anything. Doesn't really need to be metal either. I just did that for longevity. It has 3 jets inside of this stack here. So there's one right there. There's one inside here that you can't really see right now, and there's that one right there. These are forward-firing thrusters. They're tilted like this to compensate for the counterweight. The counterweight on this guy is about 805. Let's call it 800 exactly, and that's all titanium. There's a downforce thruster right there that's sitting right in the chair, and that really helps with traction a lot. So that's kind of cool. Doubled up wheels for speed. They're all 50 wheel speed, and they're all high torque. So that's good. I think I put the the protection blocks here a little closer together than 6. Let's see, I think that'd be 2, so that's 4. So yeah, tighten up the protection blocks by a little bit so there's more panels and a denser space. It seems to work sometimes to help clear things a little bit better to do that. Alright, it's time for a tutorial style thing. I'm just going to kind of wing this, and I'm going to use my favorite building material, plastic. First I'm going to start out with a block that's 10 by 10 and up in the air. There we go. Now I'm going to place 3 blocks on it, 1 dead center, and you can check that by going to that tool and making sure that yes, in fact, dead center. And then 1 over on each side, like so. And now I'm going to rotate those by, let's go with 10. Let's go with a rotation of 10. So you actually have to type that in there and pull that by 10 that direction and 10 that direction. And now I'm going to scale this a little bit by 0.5, and let's see, I'm going to make sure that it goes all the way in and then kind of Yeah, let's just go with 1 thick. Let's do like that. And let's make this one like 5 or 6. Let's just do 6 on that one. And then I'm going to see, both of those are the same. They're both the same, but something's wrong. Oh, I didn't move that one down. So make sure they're at the same level. They should look level. You can even use the back of the stage, the side of the stage there. You can see the little green spots. They line up. Anyway, okay. Now, since these are 6 long, I'm going to clone by 6 and just pull that up 1 notch like that. Do that again, pull it up, and now I'm going to scale this down. Let's go down to 3. Yeah, just go in half of that. And let's go ahead and color these at this point. So I can color the cone like that, and then let's just do the, these are going to be for the stripes. Okay, reflective stripes, there we go. Let's see, I'm going to grab, you got to grab one at a time. And I'm just going to go ahead and clone it up by 1. I'm just going to stack it on top of the other one. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And then I'm going to move, or rather scale that down to, let's just go down to 2. And then stack another one on top of that. And then we can color some of these things. Let's go back to that orange color, like so. And now we got to have one more on top of this. And let's go ahead and make, I kind of like the idea of making this one and this one the same. So I'm just going to go ahead and scale that one up to 3 and scale this up to 3. And then I'm going to go ahead and clone them again for one more orange on top. Awesome. And now I can start the cloning process. I'm going to select all of those and then select the center block there. And that way you get your nice square reference here. And I'm going to clone these out by, just go like 20 to get it away, just so I can see it nice and neat. So I'm going to go to the side, and then I'm going to reselect that box. And go back in, and then I'm going to turn it. And now I'm going to change my rotation back to 15 degrees. So I'm going to rotate like that. And that's just because I'm familiar with that one. Now you want to grab a different color. I like using very contrasting colors. Black's a good one. And you color all of the new ones that you just rotated. So you don't color the original ones, you just color that new one. You should get something like that. And this allows you to see very clearly how you need to scale in these blocks to make it nice and smooth. So you scale that in until this sliver down here becomes almost impossible to see. I can use 0.01 as well, and I usually do, but not going to right now because this is just quicker for my math. I'm a little, not the best math student perhaps. That's 0.35. So I'm changing my scale tool to 0.35. That equals what I took off of it. So I took 0.35 off, so I'm going to take 0.35 off the other side. And then I'm going to do the same thing up here on this side. I'm going to first determine how much I need to take off by pulling that in until that sliver just about disappears right there. And then I'm going to do the math and scale the other side in by the exact same amount. And do the same thing all the way up. Okay, I had a little trouble deciding what to do with this last one. I actually went ahead and pulled it beyond the point where it's not visible right there, and that's going to create a hole. So I really don't want to do that, but I really couldn't hardly stand to leave it at 0.05. So I'm going to pull that out just a hair until I can just barely see that. It's only 0.01 more than I had it, so I'm going to pull the other side out to make it equal, and there we go. Now, I'm going to delete everything except for those blocks I just scaled. Not everything, just the cone pieces, everything. Including everything on the opposite side. So all of this over here can just disappear. Now, I'm going to scale, let's see, I got to get rid of that block right there too. That's the one that's twisted, so don't get rid of your one that's square with the platform. Just get the one that was turned. I'm going to scale this one by 1. I'm going to pull it in towards the side that we're going to keep, and then we're going to grab all of that and that one as the last piece, and then we're going to mirror it like that, and that way we get an equal cone on the other side. Now we can delete 1/2 of this and then scale that back over. And now that will be our reference for when we are cloning the entire thing. So at this point you get this kind of a tiered look to your cone, and you can select all of those pieces again, all the cone pieces plus this one last. And then at this point I'm going to go up with it. So I'm going to clone it, and I'm going to clone it up. And then I'm going to reselect that piece again, so I make sure I get that nice square selection tool, and then go back down, and then we'll rotate it by 15 degrees, which is what we previously rotated by to set these spacings. So you can see here that it's not perfect, and I could have cleaned that up a little bit more. You can see that top one is probably a lot closer to perfect. It comes down to almost a nice neat point right there. So that's pretty neat. That's kind of what you want all the way around. The more detail you put into this, of course, the cleaner it's going to look. So the more pieces, the cleaner the look. There's also other ways to kind of round the corners a little bit and make them look better, but it also takes a considerable amount more effort, and it ends up being a lot more pieces too. So I'm just going to do it this way because realistically, when you're flying down the river, you want fewer pieces to make less lag, and everybody can see you moving then, because if you have so much lag that nobody can see going, it doesn't really serve much of a purpose. Be careful to make sure you always reselect one of those center blocks. It doesn't matter which one, by the way, you just have to have the flat plane reference. And then don't let go of anything until you finish your move. So I move, when I'm doing 15-degree rotation, you can do, you copy once, and then you grab all of that and you move it twice, and then you grab 4, and then you move them again. So now I've messed it all up because I just let go trying to show you guys. But that's okay. I'm going to grab 4 of these pieces here, and I'm going to grab 4 of them from the other side. And it's lucky there's nothing underneath this cone but a base plate right there, so I can just deselect that real quick. So now I got to get a hold of 4 of them again so I can do this final gap fill, and then just grab one of those and let's just finish this off. Okay, there we go. That looks like a cone. And you guys can build a cone now. Thank you guys for watching my video. I'll see you in the game. Woohoo! 2 million gold. Can't believe it. Bye-bye.